In today's chess video, we will explore some fascinating chess opening tricks and traps in the center game. Are you ready for an exhilarating chess experience? This video will leave you captivated as you explore fascinating tactical ideas that can elevate your chess skills to new heights. We begin with the king's pawn opening, playing e4 followed by d4, known as the center game. Black typically responds by capturing the pawn, known as the accepted line. From this position, an aggressive move that white can consider is c3. However, we will not focus on the Danish Gambit in this video. If you're interested in a video on the Danish Gambit, please let us know in the poll above. Returning to our game, as white, we play queen takes d4, and black attacks the queen with the knight, as expected. Now, we will examine 4 different traps one by one, while also understanding the tactical ideas behind them. These tactics can be applied to similar positions in your future games. Let's begin with the first trap, setting it up with queen to a4. Black responds with queen to e7, attacking the central pawn. We defend the pawn by playing knight to c3. Black continues with knight to f6, increasing pressure on the center. We pin the knight to the queen by playing bishop to g5. Black then plays pawn to d5, adding a third attacker on the pawn. It's important to note that black can play these moves in any order, but the main objective is to attack the center, eventually leading to the same position. In this position, we intentionally ignore the pawn and instead castle on the queen side, inviting black to capture the pawn. Black takes the pawn, and we recapture it with our knight. Now, if black becomes greedy and captures our knight, they will fall into a trap. Let me explain how. Since black can't take with the knight due to the pin, they capture with the queen. At first glance, it may appear that we have given away our knight for free. However, we have a brilliant tactical idea in this position. Can you spot it? Absolutely. The brilliant move we can play here is rook to d8 check. This move creates a powerful pin on the knight, preventing it from capturing the rook. If white decides to capture the rook with the king, we seize the opportunity to capture their queen. The knight is also unable to take back the rook due to being pinned to the king. This sequence of moves sets up an incredible queen trap, showcasing the strategic and tactical complexities of the game. Now, let's examine another scenario, this time from the perspective of black. After the moves queen to d4 and knight to c6, white chooses the standard move queen to e3, commonly seen in this opening. In response, we play knight to f6, and white plays bishop to c4, aiming to attack the vulnerable f7 square. Next, we advance with knight to e5, targeting the bishop. The bishop retreats to b3, maintaining its position on the diagonal. Now, we unleash a clever tactic by playing bishop to b4, delivering a check. If white blocks the check with the bishop, the position remains equal. However, it is more likely that white will play pawn to c3, attacking the bishop. At this crucial moment, we can spring a deadly trap by playing bishop to c5, striking the queen. If the queen captures our bishop, we have the powerful move knight to d3, creating a fork against the king and queen. Therefore, it is not advisable for white to capture our bishop. Instead, white will need to relocate the queen, and a move like g3 seems natural, as it also targets the g7 pawn. However, we have another tactical idea waiting. Can you spot it? It's the remarkable move bishop to f2, delivering a check and posing a threat to both the king and queen simultaneously. If white captures the bishop with the queen, we can once again play knight to d3, executing a fork against the king and queen. Furthermore, if after bishop takes, the king captures on f2, we can involve our other knight in the action by playing knight takes e4 check, once again resulting in winning the queen. This series of tactical maneuvers showcases the ingenuity of chess play and the potential for devastating traps. Now, let's explore another intriguing trap that can be executed by black. After the moves queen to d4, knight to c6, and queen to e3, we immediately strike with bishop b4 check. White responds by blocking with a pawn, requiring us to retreat our bishop. At this point, white has various options such as knight to f3 or bishop to b5, but a common move is bishop to c4, which we'll consider here. In the center game, black often hesitates to play knight to f6 due to the potential pawn push. However, in this particular situation, we can confidently opt for knight to f6, as there is a hidden trap waiting to be unveiled. After knight f6, if white responds with e5, instead of hastily moving our knight away, we should consider whether there's a way to disregard this threat and launch a counterattack. And indeed, there exists a delightful tactic in this position. Let's examine how it unfolds. We deliberately ignore the attacking knight and swiftly castle kingside. If white falls into the trap and captures our knight, we unleash the beautiful move rook to e8, sealing the fate of a valuable piece. White is unable to move the queen due to the pin against the king. Consequently, black secures the capture of white's queen, leaving us with a decisive advantage in the game. This brilliant sequence demonstrates the power of tactical awareness and the ability to exploit opponents' errors to gain a significant edge in the match. Moving on, let's delve into an extraordinary game, where white employed captivating tactical ideas to deliver a checkmate on the black king. In the center game, after queen to d4 and knight to c6, white proceeded with the customary move queen to e3. Black responded with bishop b4 check, and white blocked the check with the c-pawn, simultaneously attacking the bishop. The bishop retreated, and white played bishop c4. Black developed their knight to e7, preparing to castle. White then initiated an attack by playing queen to g3, targeting a pawn. Black calmly castled, nullifying any immediate threats. Instead of attempting bishop h6, which could be defused by black's knight to g6, white opted for h4 to establish control over the square. Sensing a potent attack brewing, black decided to shift their pieces toward the kingside, and thus played knight g6. White followed up with h5 as anticipated. Black maneuvered their knight to e5, aiming an attack at the bishop. At this crucial moment, white executed an absolutely mind-blowing combination. Can you discover it? White initiated with bishop g5, simultaneously attacking the black queen. Black is unable to capture the bishop since it is protected by the queen. Additionally, advancing the pawn is not an option due to the check delivered by the bishop. Consequently, black was compelled to relocate their queen to e8. Next, white unleashed bishop f6, a decisive move. This move poses an immediate threat of checkmate. In response, black played g6, attempting to create an escape route for their king. White captured the pawn on g6, and now, if black were to capture with their pawn, white would execute checkmate with rook to h8. Therefore, instead of capturing with the pawn, black opted to capture with their knight. However, white ingeniously sacrificed their queen with queen g6 check. Black captured the queen with their pawn, and white swiftly finalized the game with rook to h8, delivering a checkmate that concludes the encounter in white's favor. This captivating game showcases the immense power of tactical vision and the ability to seize opportunities when they arise, leading to remarkable victories on the chessboard. Nevertheless, this opening trick is definitely worth trying out in your games. Before we conclude, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore the other videos displayed on your screen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.